If you're a real estate agent, you've heard it a million times, right? If a listing is sitting on the market, you've just got to drop the price. But what if I told you that's pretty much the wrong advice? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the real reasons so many homes fail to sell. And believe me, it has almost nothing to do with the price tag. And boom, there it is. This really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? We are so trained to think price, 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 but the actual problem, the real bottleneck, is financing. Think about it. It's not always about what buyers are willing to pay. It's about what the banks are willing to lend them. And once you see it that way, everything changes. So let's break this down. Let's really dig in and talk about this listing killer that's lurking in today's market. Yeah, I'm guessing this list looks pretty familiar. If you're an agent out there right now, you are absolutely up against it. You've got smaller pools of qualified buyers, interest rates are making things tricky, and you have these financing hurdles that just grind deals to a halt. You know, lending standards are tight, and so many good people now, entrepreneurs, gig workers, have income that's tough to prove to a traditional bank. It's a super frustrating cycle. Okay, but enough with the doom and gloom, right? We're not just here to talk about problems. Let's flip this around and talk about the solution. What if there was a way to just sidestep those traditional financing roadblocks altogether?
Exactly. Just take a second and really think about this. What would it actually mean for your business if you could instantly bring more real potential buyers to the table? If you could honestly tell your seller you're aiming for a 45-day closing? And, this is the big one, do all of that without ever having to have that awful price reduction conversation? Well, here it is. The key, the answer to those questions, lies in a powerful strategy called temporary seller financing. This is the tool we're going to unpack right now. So what on earth is that? Let me break it down. This is not for buyers who can't afford the home. That's super important. It's for good buyers, people with solid income who just don't quite fit into that rigid little box that traditional lenders use. Basically, the seller acts like the bank for a short time, maybe 1 to 3 years. It's a bridge that gives the buyer time to get their ducks in a row so they can qualify for a normal mortgage down the road. Okay, so that sounds great in theory, but how does this actually work in the real world? How does it get more people looking at your listing and more offers in your hand?
I mean, this visual says it all, doesn't it? On the left, that's your typical buyer pool, the people who can walk into a bank today and get a loan. But look what happens when you open the door with temporary seller financing. You can literally double the number of qualified, interested buyers. You're not just fishing in a tiny pond anymore, you've basically opened up the whole lake.
And you know what happens when you have a bigger buyer pool, right? It's just simple economics. More demand means you're going to get offers way faster. And when buyers know they're competing against other people, they tend to write stronger, cleaner offers with much better terms for your seller. Now, this all sounds fantastic for the seller, of course, but what's in it for you? Let's talk about the agent side of this, the direct advantage for your business. Because, you know, there's one piece of this strategy that really seems to get agents excited. This is the part you're probably going to love. And here it is. We usually think creative financing means we're going to take a hit on the price, which means a smaller commission check, right? Well, this flips that whole idea on its head. By creating a competitive environment with more buyers, you're actually holding the price firm, or maybe even driving it up. That protects your commission and might even make it bigger. Let's talk about a couple of key numbers. First one, 45. 45 days. The goal here is speed. Getting that property from for sale to sold in 45 days or less. That's a game changer. And here's the other magic number, just as important. 0. As in 0 price reductions. You get the deal done at the full asking price your seller wanted from day one. That is huge. So the big question is, how do you actually do this? How do you take this concept and apply it to the listings you're working on right now? Well, this is where you might need a guide, an expert. And that brings us to Kevin Young Sr. from Nationwide Real Estate Acquisitions. Look, this isn't just something he dabbles in on the side. This is his entire focus. He literally partners with agents just like you, all across the country, to implement these exact strategies and bring stale listings back to life. So the final question this all leads to is really for you. Are you ready to stop waiting around for that one perfect buyer to just magically appear? Or are you ready to create the perfect conditions to attract a bunch of great buyers to your doorstep? So here's the bottom line. It's a choice, right? You can keep doing things the old way, crossing your fingers and hoping another price drop finally works, or you can try a new approach, a smarter approach. The number is right there on your screen. Maybe the key to your next sale isn't a lower price after all, but a smarter way to finance it. What have you got to lose?